seen Percy? Nope, I can't feel him when he's not around. But I thought you two were connected with that empathy link or something. Hey guys, check this out. Ooh, is that a depressing dystopian fight to the death story? Anyway, I was just in the big house while Mr. D wasn't around, and I happened to stumble upon this book full of interesting stories. It's Mr. D's diary. What? Wow, I never thought gods would have diaries. Yeah, no kidding. Let's check it out. Percy, that's not a good idea. I hate to imagine the consequences of just opening that thing. You know, Annabeth, you're right. I got a better idea. You should read it. Hard pass. Well, whatever. Yesterday, I went down to the nearest fast food restaurant and tried a double patty burger for the first time in my immortal life. I felt pity for any ancient Greek that never lived long enough to taste one. My favorite part was the secret sauce. At least until I figured out it could be made by mixing ketchup and mayonnaise. Ew, Mr. D eats cows? I can't even imagine. What else is new, hippie? I thought of my mortal mother and the story of how she talked Father Zeus into showing his true form, knowing that she herself would incinerate at the sight. I cried. By some minor miracle, baby me had survived the explosion, and Father Zeus thought he could preserve me by shoving me into his thigh. I stayed in there for a few more months, wondering if Father Zeus even knew how baby growing works. Oh, now this is hysterical. Last week, the Olympians and I gathered around to watch the Capture the Flag event through Iris Message. I watched as my son Pollux failed his teammates after getting kicked in the rear by a giant boom made of water, no thanks to Percy Jackson, followed by his goat friend who magically made plants tie him up. I left after Uncle Poseidon shouted, "In your face, wine dude," loud enough to make everyone else laugh. Last night I prayed to the fates for the first time in my immortal life. I prayed for the end. I remember that. Give me 5, G-Man. But you already took my money, Percy. Never mind. Today, while on the toilet, I read Peter Johansson's retellings of ancient Greek heroes, hoping that it would help me feel better knowing other demigods had it worse. I found none. I did, however, find the story of how the Minotaur was born quite amusing, remembering how the beast was descended from a delusional mortal queen and a sacred bull. It left me to wonder how many young mortals were forever scarred from such a disturbing story. The other night I couldn't seem to get to sleep, so I passed the time looking around at the mortal world through my telescope again. I saw through one bathroom window the most beautiful middle-aged mortal woman I've seen in centuries, until 1 second later I got the beat down of an immortal lifetime by Poseidon. I later learned that the woman was Poseidon's former lover, aka Peter Johansson's mother. I never felt so embarrassed in my immortal life. Oh wow, my dad really is a badass. I always knew he still cared about Mom. Earlier today I took some strawberries from the strawberry patch and tasted strawberry milkshake for the first time ever. My only disappointment was that I didn't invent it first, and wondered to myself how much less miserable this world would be if I had invented milkshakes instead of wine. I thought of my mother. I cried. Okay, this is getting boring. I say we change it up and make it better. Here, Percy. You can use this harpy feather I took from one of the cleaning harpies. Okay, I am Mr. D. I'm so sad because I whine wine out of my eyes all the time. Get it? Whine. I don't have any friends because I stink like soda and prunes. And I suffered from directing Camp Half-Blood for decades and get even more depressed when Percy Jackson comes around in the summer because he's the coolest kid at camp. And I get even more depressed when his girlfriend, Annabeth, sticks around because she's so hot. Okay, I think I'll go whine wine out of my eyes again, but just before I pee it out into my pants. Okay, peace out. Wow, Percy, your writing skills really have improved. To Hades with dyslexia. Thanks, Grover. Oh, someone hit me on the back of the head, knocking me out cold. Who would have thought anyone could knock a god's lights out? And the next thing I know, my whole room is ransacked and... Hey, wait a minute. That book. What do you think you're doing, Johnson? Mr. D, I just caught Grover with your diary over here. What? He didn't read it, did he? Oh, he read it all right. Every last syllable. This is unacceptable, Mr. Underrated. I like the part about your mom, Mr. D. You did? It made me sad. I hope your mom finds peace in Elysium, Mr. D. As do I, Mr. Underrated. As do I. I like strawberries.